North Korea, officially the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, stands as one of the most isolated and secretive nations on Earth. Shrouded in mystery and often misunderstood, this small East Asian country has captivated the world's attention with its nuclear ambitions, human rights record, and enigmatic leadership. From its tumultuous beginnings to its precarious present, North Korea's story is one of resilience, defiance, and tragedy. This essay seeks to delve into the heart of the Hermit Kingdom, exploring its complex history, political system, and the everyday lives of its people. We will examine the profound impact of the Kim dynasty, the intricacies of its nuclear program, and the delicate balance of its international relations. Through this exploration, we hope to gain a deeper understanding of this enigmatic nation and its uncertain future. To understand North Korea today, one must first journey back to the aftermath of World War II. The Korean peninsula, previously under Japanese rule, was divided along the 38th parallel by the victorious Allied powers. The Soviet Union took control of the north, while the United States administered the south. This division, initially intended as a temporary measure, soon solidified into a geopolitical fault line. In 1948, two separate states emerged: the Communist Democratic People's Republic of Korea in the north and the Capitalist Republic of Korea in the south. This division culminated in the Korean War, a brutal conflict that pitted the two Koreas against each other, with the backing of their respective superpowers. The war ended in an armistice, but a formal peace treaty was never signed, leaving the peninsula technically in a state of war to this day. The war solidified the division of Korea and laid the foundation for the development of two distinct political, economic, and social systems. At the heart of North Korea's political landscape lies the Kim dynasty, a family that has ruled the nation with an iron fist for over 7 decades. Kim Il-sung, revered as the country's founder, established a totalitarian regime based on a personality cult centered around himself and his family. He implemented the Juche ideology, a self-reliance doctrine that permeates all aspects of North Korean life. After Kim Il-sung's death in 1994, his son, Kim Jong-il, inherited the mantle of leadership, continuing his father's policies of isolation and military expansion. The transition to Kim Jong-un, the third generation of the Kim dynasty, in 2011, raised questions about the future of the regime. However, Kim Jong-un has consolidated his power, ruthlessly eliminating potential rivals and reinforcing the cult of personality surrounding his family. North Korea operates under a single-party system, with the Workers' Party of Korea exercising absolute control over all aspects of government and society. The country's political system is characterized by a lack of transparency, a pervasive culture of fear, and severe restrictions on basic freedoms. Citizens are denied fundamental rights, such as freedom of speech, assembly, and religion. The government exercises strict control over information, limiting access to the outside world and tightly regulating domestic media. International human rights organizations have consistently documented widespread and systematic human rights abuses in North Korea, including arbitrary detention, torture, forced labor, and severe restrictions on freedom of movement. The existence of political prison camps, where tens of thousands of individuals are believed to be held in inhumane conditions, remains a particularly grave concern. The North Korean government denies these allegations, claiming that its citizens enjoy the highest levels of human rights protection. North Korea's economy has been crippled by decades of mismanagement, international sanctions, and a rigid adherence to the Juche ideology of self-reliance. The collapse of the Soviet Union, North Korea's main trading partner and benefactor, in the early 1990s, dealt a devastating blow to the already fragile economy. This period, marked by widespread famine and economic hardship, is referred to as the Arduous March. Despite some attempts at economic reform, North Korea remains heavily reliant on China for trade and aid. International sanctions, imposed in response to the country's nuclear and ballistic missile programs, have further isolated North Korea from the global economy. The sanctions target key sectors such as energy, mining, and finance, making it difficult for the regime to access foreign currency and engage in international trade. Military might and nuclear ambitions. North Korea maintains one of the largest standing armies in the world, with an estimated 1.2 million active personnel. Military spending consumes a significant portion of the country's limited resources, further straining its already fragile economy. The development of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles has been a central pillar of North Korea's national security strategy, driven by a deep-seated sense of insecurity and a desire for international recognition. North Korea's nuclear ambitions have been a source of international concern and have resulted in multiple rounds of sanctions from the United Nations Security Council. The country has conducted 6 nuclear tests since 2006, each one prompting global condemnation and escalating tensions on the Korean peninsula. The development of intercontinental ballistic missiles, capable of reaching the United States mainland, has further heightened anxieties and fueled fears of a potential nuclear conflict. A world apart. North Korea's international relations. North Korea's foreign relations are characterized by its isolationist policies, its fraught relationship with South Korea, and its complex ties with China and the United States. China remains North Korea's closest ally and its most important economic lifeline, providing the regime with essential goods, energy, and diplomatic support. However, relations between the two countries have been strained at times by North Korea's nuclear provocations and its unpredictable behavior. The United States, on the other hand, has long regarded North Korea as a rogue state and a threat to regional stability. The two countries have no formal diplomatic relations and have engaged in periods of intense hostility marked by military exercises, sanctions, and heated rhetoric. The issue of North Korea's nuclear program has been a major stumbling block in US DPRK relations, with both sides struggling to find common ground. Life inside the bubble, society and culture. Behind the veil of secrecy, North Korean society is a complex tapestry woven from a unique blend of Confucian traditions, socialist principles, and the ever-present cult of personality surrounding the Kim dynasty. Citizens are taught from a young age to revere the Kim family as godlike figures and to unquestioningly obey the dictates of the state. Education, healthcare, and housing are provided by the government, but access to these services is often determined by political loyalty and social standing. North Korean culture is heavily influenced by the government's propaganda machine, which promotes a narrative of national unity, self-reliance, and unwavering loyalty to the Kim regime. State-controlled media, including television, radio, and newspapers, disseminate carefully curated information designed to glorify the leadership and instill a sense of national pride. Access to outside information is strictly controlled, limiting citizens' exposure to alternative viewpoints and perspectives. An uncertain future. Challenges and prospects for North Korea. North Korea stands at a crossroads, facing a myriad of challenges and uncertainties as it navigates a rapidly changing world. The country's nuclear ambitions continue to be a source of international tension, while its human rights record and economic struggles remain major concerns. The future of the Kim dynasty and the stability of the regime itself are also uncertain as internal pressures mount and external forces exert their influence. Despite these challenges, there are glimmers of hope for a brighter future. The international community continues to engage in diplomatic efforts to resolve the nuclear standoff and to improve the human rights situation in North Korea. Within the country, there are signs of nascent market activity and a growing awareness of the outside world, albeit limited. Whether these faint flickers of change can ignite a broader transformation in North Korea remains to be seen. The path ahead for the Hermit Kingdom is fraught with uncertainty, but the potential for a more peaceful and prosperous future remains, however distant it may seem.